picture me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about how you love and hold you tight. So happy together.
I thought I pressed the button. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Captain Logan Show. 'Tis I, Captain Logan. And joining me, as always, is my wonderful chat moderator and producer, DJ Martinez.
Hey, I still don't know how to respond to those moments. I still feel rude interrupting you even though I can't hear you.
No, you should totally interrupt. You know what you should do? You should start filling in from my mouth movements.
I should start just trying to, like, mimic you.
Yeah.
I should know your intro by this point.
You should just go, hello, everyone. Yeah, and then that'll be like the one time I change it. And then we just look like an anime dubbed into English.
Yeah. I mean, it probably would anyway with the lag.
The lag has been real lately, yeah, but I think it's getting better. Anyway, welcome everybody. Tonight we're going to have a really, really normal show. It's Ask Me Anything. We don't have any lead stories. We're not doing any kind of super chat goal. We're just going to jump right into whatever it is you guys want to talk about. Thanks for watching live. Thanks for watching after the fact if you're doing that instead. And as always, if you want to make sure that something that you want to talk about is discussed this evening, you can leave us a super chat in any dollar amount, and that helps us really keep the train running here on Geekvolution. We are these days 90% of thereabouts funded by the audience, so we really appreciate that. But if you can't do that, you don't want to do that, feel free to leave pre-written questions, and we will get to as many of those as we can as well. Anything and everything you guys want to talk about within reason tonight. DJ, let's get it started right away. Let's get kicking. Here we go.
All right, let's do it. John Early Cap.
Yeah.
Do you think Batfleck could have taken on Clayface since he drove Killer Croc out of Gotham?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, yes. I don't know. I mean, I I'm trying really hard.
You mean, like, would it have worked in that universe?
Yeah, it's really hard for me to not be sarcastic with a question like that. That immediately comes off to me as a who would win in a fight question, and I'm just like, those are never interesting to me. And like, yeah, like, are we saying that Batman might be able to take on some rogues but not others? Like, I assume he's fought Clayface. Like, I assume that Batman's been through the whole rogues gallery. But if you're just talking about, like, would that character work in that? Yeah, it's a pretty heightened universe, like, sure. But, I mean, the answer to that is always yes. I mean, it's a Batman villain. Batman's going to win, you know?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm having a hard time not sounding sarcastic when I answer this. Sorry, say that again?
Doomsday in that universe. Let's get Doomsday in that universe, I'm pretty sure. If he can fight freaking Doomsday, he can fight Clayface, probably.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Hey, I want to address something real quick that somebody was talking about in the comments. Anybody that knows anything about this, because, of course, you know, technical side of YouTube, I do my best, but I tend to feel like I'm lagging behind and I don't always know what's going on. We lately have been having a huge problem with too many ad breaks in the middle of videos. And I want to, right up front, say that's not my fault and we're not doing it on purpose. It's more limited now with the new format for some reason. You used to have a lot more control over when ad breaks happen. And I think it's still set up to where you can pick and choose where you want them to happen. But if you just toggle it to have, you know, even skippable ads, not just the ads on the side, but I mean, of course, actually commercials in the video, it will show up anywhere in the video. And I've been hearing a lot of complaints from people that it's like several times in the first 5 to 10 minutes of our videos lately. And I've also heard from people that it's not just our channel. This is happening a lot of places. And I don't know what to do except to completely demonetize. There are some videos, especially commentaries, where I've turned off all the ads except for the on-screen ads because I want people to be able to sync with us and watch the videos. So, I mean, it sucks to have to demonetize entire videos, but it's getting to where that's the only recourse. So, I mean, if anybody knows why that's happening and has, you know, any understanding of it, let me know. If there's some button I'm not seeing that I should be pressing. DJ, have you noticed this?
Yeah, I've noticed it on your video. Oh, by the way, people say I'm echoing. I don't know if there's anything.
Oh, okay, 1 second. I'll fix that. Yep, I got it. Anyway, good.
Okay.
You should be fine now.
No, I don't. I've noticed it on some other channels too. I don't know that I watch, but yeah, I don't know anything about it. I'm just a moderator.
Well, and the thing is, I can't see it on my side because I pay for premium, so I don't get ads on anything. So I have to keep reminding myself that ads are even still a thing in YouTube videos, even though we monetize our videos.
Oh.
So
Yeah. I've noticed it on because I tuned into the Cap Doesn't Hate Brandon show because I wasn't on that one, so I wanted to listen to it a little bit, and it was like in the beginning there was like 15 of them. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, I don't know why that's happening, and it's driving everybody crazy, and I need to be able to do something about it. So anyway, so yeah, guys, I'm gonna keep looking into it. I'm just not sure how to handle it right now, and why that's happening. Well, let's get into some more stuff, DJ.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, Jay Forever King posted a super chat but retracted it, but I just wanted to give him thanks for the $2.99. That's much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks so much.
And then William Parcell, do you think people working on Superman stuff immediately going for dark or evil Superman is starting to border on writing laziness?
I think in some ways it started from that place with a lot of people. I mean, of course, you can tell cool stories where that happens, and I either do alternate universe stories where the Superman we know turns into that, unfortunately, and make us buy it, like Injustice, which I think does a wonderful job of that, or you can have a Superman who temporarily turns evil to give us a sense of what he would be like if he chose to do that, and how scary that is, and how thankful everybody has to be that he isn't that way and that he is altruistic, and that gives you a sense of how much harder it is to be Superman. That, like, the temptation to be that way might always be there for a guy like that, and he's got to work so much harder to, curb the power corrupting him. So there are reasons to tell those stories, but it also feels real played out. We've done so much of that, and I don't know if it's laziness so much as a fear of the character. I guess lazy in the sense of we don't know what to do with him, so we'll just make him look cool and scary because he's got laser eyes. But also, I think there's some fear of the character, some fear that people these days don't find that character plausible. And we've talked about this a lot, that he's not realistic enough, that you have to change what the world is to even, have a character who is that altruistic, who tries to do the right thing all the time. I've never believed that. I think we need Superman more now than we ever have to be classic Christopher Reeve-esque Superman. I think that there are a few people who, in the public eye, because who knows about people in your personal life. Maybe you've met these people, but this idea that nobody really high profile could ever be Superman. We had Fred Rogers. As far as anybody can tell, he's the closest we've had without superpowers, and Gandhi and characters like that in the past. It is possible, and I think it's important to continue to perpetuate the notion that it's possible so that we have somebody to live up to, so that we can all try to be that. And so so we shouldn't be only having stories where that happens to Superman. And at that point, let's just not tell Superman stories for a while. I hate saying that. I really do. But let's not let our kids think that he's something that he's not. And Man of Steel has been around for 7 years now. And that is the Superman that some kids grew up with. And that bothers me. As much as I love ideas and the Krypton in that movie, and You have to have a previous understanding and appreciation, I think, of Superman to be able to appreciate the things that work in that movie without having a false understanding of what that character is supposed to be. And so that bugs me.
That was my introduction to the character.
Wow, man, that's wild. So DJ, I love that I'm asking you this after you said that. But I mean, how do you feel about that? Where do you think the motivation comes from?
I think you're probably right about it. I don't know. I haven't read any Superman, so I'm not. I'm aware of Injustice a little bit, and I know where they go with that. I guess that happens a lot. Is that what you guys are? Is that what the understanding is with this question? That people go to that well a lot?
But it's not just in comics. What we're mostly talking about is other media. Like, we just can't stop going there. We went there immediately when we put him on screen for the first time since '06.
Yeah. Yeah, I
he's
don't know.
not straight up evil that whole movie, but the first thing we have to do is show this scary future where he's fascist that we're probably going to get to if Batman doesn't change things. It's not just a potential ultimate, that's where we're going!
Yeah, I don't know. That movie just, like, is crazy. I don't know. I only seen BBS once in theaters. I don't even barely remember anything. And everything was weird and dreamy in that movie anyway.
I mean, I say it right away, yeah. We did that in BVS, but there's lots of reasons in Man of Steel to think that guy could turn fascist and stuff, so anyway.
Yeah. Oh, man, what do we got? Cap. Oh, this is a cool question. I remember he asked this the other week, and I didn't get to it. This is Blue Dragon 5. What would you think of the Batman 66 comic adapting Batman Beyond, as in decades from the 60s set in a new dated future like the 2000s maybe?
I would love that, and that's a neat notion, the idea of setting it in our past, but it's 66's future. And so from the perspective of that show, it's like, look how futuristic all the technology is. It kind of reminds me of what we did in Enterprise with the future ship that was actually from in original series episode in their Mirror Universe episode in A Mirror Darkly, DJ, where we go to a set that looks just like the original series Enterprise, and because it's the guys from Enterprise from the 2150s, they're walking around cardboard sets going, look how advanced this technology is, it's amazing. And so it would be really fun to do that with 66, where everybody's like picking up like MP3 players and stuff. I love that idea of doing it like in the year 2000. Call it like Batman 66 2000. Make it like 2099, but it's in the year 2000, and make it like Adam West Batman versus Y2K or something. Have a villain called Y2K or something like that. Like I think that'd be fantastic. And
would Batman Beyond just be wearing like the rubber leathery suits that we were putting everyone in the 2000s? He wouldn't be all high tech.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, because if you wanted it to be like a Batman Beyond, homage or even sort of adapt it in 66, you'd want the costume to be reminiscent of that. You want some red in that suit somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what you do with it. That is an awesome idea. And you said, would you like us to do that with the 66 comics? I wish the 66 comics were still regularly happening. We haven't even done a crossover in a while. For a while, every few months, we'd come back and do another one. But that reminds me of, and part of the reason that I want to see that done is because we've already seen a future of that world where we did a little bit of an adaptation. Not obviously, we didn't straight up adapt, but elements of Dark Knight Returns set in the 70s when we did the Batman Wonder Woman crossover. So there were like 3 stories told in 6 issues, and one of those stories, and it was a crossover with Wonder Woman 77 with that TV show, and she got her own comics, but that was done differently. They were like these big oversized things that came out every so often. It wasn't a monthly, but we crossed Batman 66 with her, and if you've not read that, what we did was we bring Batman to, or we fast forward to the 70s when Wonder Woman, the TV show version is running around, and it's the future of 66, but it is the 70s now, and things aren't so squeaky clean and black and white, and we see an Adam West Batman who has to grapple with the fact that the world has changed, and things are not so clean and easy and hunky-dory as they were in the 66 show, and it's great. And it would be really cool to see that character go all the way to 2000 and have an elderly, 80-something Adam West Batman, and then the question is, who is your Batman Beyond? Like who does he bring in? Do we do a 2000 Terry McGinnis? Because I think that would be great.
Do you make him look like an actor from that period? Is he like whoever played Iceman? Who's that guy?
That would be Sean Ashmore.
Yes.
Yeah, and Sean Ashmore is Terry McGinnis, set in the period where he was Jake from Animorphs. It'd be fantastic. Yes, I love that idea.
We did it. We solved it.
I love it so much.
Get on that, Mark Andreyko.
Oh, and it was easy too. I mean, it writes itself.
All right. Real quick, Tim Johnson asks, Captain DJ, just curious, how many episodes of Power Rangers Turbo have you recorded so far for Morphomania? Well,
not many.
Not many. Only 5. sir, and that's why it's slowed down a little bit. I am gonna drop one tomorrow morning. I'll drop the second or the fourth episode, but yeah, we might be going once a week for a while until we can get a head start again.
We need to figure out a regular recording time for that show, and DJ and I have just been having a hard time figuring out what to do. We've been trying to do too much lately. Story of my life. We started adding.
Now he's dragged me into it. Now I'm doing multiple shows.
It's my fault. I'm sorry, DJ. Although, in my defense, DJ keeps trying to get me to do this show even more often, so. It's not just me, but yeah, we announced Marvel Mania recently. That's going to be every other Tuesday once we start doing that here in a couple weeks, and we're still going to have this show every Thursday. We're going to start doing new movie reviews when new movies come out and I actually see them on some shows after the Captain Logan show. So, I mean, there's just so much going on now. I wish that we had found the time to shoot a whole bunch when we didn't have movie theaters, and we got ahead for a while. We got quite a bit shot, but now we've caught up to ourselves, and so I don't know. We're trying to do too much at once, but we'll figure it out. They don't take long to shoot. We got together and shot one yesterday. We ended up having a business meeting. We were going to try to shoot like 2 or 3 or 4, and we ended up shooting one because we had some business we had to talk about.
Yeah. They're fun, and once we get in a rhythm, we'll be good again. Blue Dragon 5 says DJ just keeps announcing things. It's a sickness with that guy. Sorry, guys. I'm only thinking of the viewers, man. I'm the moderator for the people.
Which of us is worse, though? DJ is constantly announcing things, but I can't make like one standalone video without it turning into a series.
That's true. Well, we really shouldn't be working together, is what we've learned, because we just compounded on top of each other.
Yeah, we're just too creative. There's just too many projects.
Marvel Mania is going to be fun, though. I'm having a blast working on the thumbnails for those. Those are going to look really cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see
Cap like 3 of them.
I can't wait to see more of them anyway. Yeah, they're beautiful. They're awesome. The teaser you did the other day, everybody's freaking out about and really excited about what the logo looks like. It's gonna be awesome. Or at least you're making it look good. And then what we're gonna do is turn on a camera live and watch movies and hope for the best.
Yeah, well, hey, it's viewer directed, man. They will guide us.
You guys are really wonderful. I don't know why people are so excited about that, because it's literally zero planning on our part, like on purpose. Like, I could go back and watch each movie before we do it, but that's not what Mania was. So I feel it. I feel inclined not to do that.
Yeah, you're beholden to the integrity of the Mania,
or the lack of integrity. Like, the whole point is to not have integrity. I just want everyone to know what we're all getting ourselves into with that show.
He's setting your expectations low, so hopefully we can at least meet it. From Maniac Madness, a fan of Manias.
Yeah.
Are you planning on seeing Tenet in theaters? You were just talking about this.
I am.
Movies are back. Theaters are open. What are you thinking, man? Are you still on the fence?
Movies are back, and some theaters are open. And at the same time as 2 movies are opening this weekend, one that is in the theater because Chris Nolan, I think a lot of the reason is because, and I may be wrong about this, but the way he's talking about it, that Chris Nolan really wants his movies released in theaters, and wants to make sure that his movie's seen the way it was intended. Another movie because Disney is desperate to have anything in a theater with New Mutants. And then, next week, we're going to have 2 other movies that should have made it to theaters but aren't going to, and we're going to have to watch on not streaming platforms, but on demand. And it's crazy how many movies are coming out and all the weird different ways that you have to figure out to see them, DJ. So then next week, we've got Bill and Ted Face the Music and Mulan. And it's going to be really strange not seeing Mulan in the theater. And it's also going to be strange, paying my firstborn child to see that movie if I decide to review it, which I really want to do. But I don't want to pay $30 on top of the Disney Plus. I hate that. But anyway, so my answer is yes. I'm planning on seeing Tenet. I'm definitely seeing New Mutants because it's the first superhero movie that's opened this year since Harley Quinn and the fantabulous, boring nonsense that was Birds of Prey. So I feel obliged. I feel like I've got to do that, even though I still feel kind of funky about it. So I'm at the very least going to be reviewing that on Tuesday. But right now the plan is, it's going to make, obviously, I got to figure out how easy it's going to be to get tickets and go to the theater, because every theater is going to have a really limited number of seats. I don't know how hard it's going to be to see anything.
I'm looking at it right now. I could see New Mutants tomorrow at 1:30. But there's only 16 seats available in the whole theater. So I'd have to go ahead and get that early. And it's $15.30 for the ticket. Jeez.
Well, the nice thing for me is I can get back on the Stubs program and pay what I was paying before per month, and they've not changed it, happily. So AMC is still offering that, and for $20 a month, I can still see 3 movies a week. So as long as you've got an AMC close and you have to go to a lot of things, I still really, really, really recommend that. That's how I'm going to do it. But yeah, Connor says, hey, well, hold on, Cap, don't tell me you're forgetting about Bloodshot. Well, I did forget about Bloodshot. It was the most forgettable thing we've ever reviewed together, Connor. Or at least it's up there. But yeah, I am going to be talking at least about that on Tuesday, but I'm going to try to see Tenet as well. And Connor and I, at the moment, are planning on doing as short as we can make them, how we felt about together in one video after the Captain Logan show on Tuesday. So let me real quick also mention this. We did an experiment that was not the best the other day on the Captain Logan show, where we opened with a review, and I had a lot to say about that Transformers show, but there weren't a whole lot of people there, and there wasn't a ton of interest in it, and so it ended up being a little bit odd. Like, we spent almost an hour talking about that, and then we took questions after that. Because you can never be sure who's going to be interested in what the audience is going to be like, we're going to start we're gonna try this. The next thing we're going to attempt is, because I want to start doing those things live more often. We're going to, on Tuesday, do a regular Captain Logan show for about an hour. We're going to try to keep it to an hour if we can. And then after that, we're going to take a break, and we're going to treat the reviews sort of like an after show like we do After Dark, except it will be actually, of course, on the channel. We're not going to, make you be a patron to watch that, of course. Nobody panic. And then we're gonna talk for however long we need to about those movies, and try not to take all night on that. We're not gonna do spoiler casts on those. They will be how we felt about. So if you come in and ask questions, we're gonna try to keep it kind of spoiler free. Is the plan at the moment, but things can change. I'm just letting everybody know what we're gonna attempt right now. Format changes all the time. That's what running Geekvolution has always been like. It's just every now and again we mix things up, we try new things, and sometimes there's a little bit of growing pains, but it should be fun. So everybody pop in Tuesday. It's gonna be a big night. It might be a less big night if I can't see Tenet, but I'm gonna try really hard to go.
Tyler Thompson, have you read Superman Year One?
No, I haven't. I should do that. Or if I have, it's been so long I don't remember anything about it. Year One's been coming up a lot lately.
Yeah. I feel like they have. Even on Tuesday, we were talking about some Year Ones. Well, those Power Rangers, those beautiful, like, big Power Ranger, like, hardcovers that I sent you that I really want, but they're like $100 each, are called Year One, Year Two, Year Three. They're doing them like that, which is a completely different thing. It's not the same thing at all, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's how Injustice is split up too.
Oh, really? Weird.
Mm-hmm. But that ends up being kind of a different thing, where that's more of like a format thing, where you're saying year instead of season. And I'm sure that doesn't happen if it's not for Frank Miller, but that's a little bit different than like a book that's actually called Year One.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, that's a little different.
That's a graphic novel. It's a little very different. TH1, I saved my job money today. Wait, no, sorry. Sorry.
What?
I saved my job today.
Oh, good.
I got my GM fired. Have you ever gotten a boss fired? And what was your worst boss? Your channel is vengeance. Thanks for being a friend.
Well, you're welcome. That's
a lot to take in there.
Kind of an After Dark sort of question. Well, congratulations? Question mark. I'm glad you saved your job.
If your manager was terrible, then I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, of course. That I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so I don't think I have a great story on this. I've never, that I can think of, gotten anybody fired. You ever done that, DJ?
No. Have not. But yeah, and I also don't have a good answer for his worst manager, because I I'm trying to think. I have never even really had. I've had the same manager since I graduated college. Like my first job, my manager left and like got a new job and took me with him. So I've been working with him ever since 2015. So I have a really good relationship with him. Before that, I was just working at like a grocery store before I graduated college. So didn't really interact with the manager that much. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have a horrible manager story?
Yeah, so it sounds like you haven't even had a whole lot of jobs. Like, I've worked a lot of different places. But, I don't know, like, I've had bosses that I didn't like a lot, but, like, that, you know, I could work for them usually, or if I couldn't, I just left. I don't know, like, I don't have great stories. Like, I didn't love the district manager that I had when I worked at GameStop, just because he kind of towed the company line, and so everything he did was irritating because that company was irritating. So like he tended to force people to constantly move to different stores, and so I was working at a store that was really close to my house, and then suddenly I had to drive 20 more minutes for no good reason. And like one of the things that sucks about retail is very often you'll get promoted for a skill, and then you're not allowed to use that skill that you got promoted for. And being promoted is way less fun than when you were just a peon. But you get excited that you get promoted, and then now the job's no fun when maybe it was before. And so that was awful, because I went to a store where like more than 60% of the clientele didn't speak English, and nobody that worked with us spoke Spanish. And so, like, I was forced to work. So I get promoted, they say, because of my customer service skills. And then they move me to a store where I can't have good customer service because I can't communicate with anybody. So that was unfortunate. But that's not like a direct manager. The manager I had at that store had a really different managerial style from the one I was used to from before. And he was, I don't know, he just was not like the nicest, happiest, you know, kind of guy, and I was used to something a little, you know, a little bit more of kind of a positive reinforcement thing, and this guy was just, I don't know, not even all business. He was just like, seemed kind of mean to me at first, and then about a month in, something clicked, and I felt like I kind of got this guy in his style, and we started getting along and hitting it off after that. But boy, we didn't like each other early on. I just remembered that I actually did almost get a manager fired once, but I can't tell that story. Because it involves someone else that I can't talk about. Yeah, but that didn't nearly happen once. But and then I had a manager that I worked for at an IHOP when I was in college, who I got a communication breakdown was a thing sometimes, who barely himself spoke English and was difficult to talk to, and he came in after the manager I had before, and suddenly cut all my hours because he didn't like that I had a couple days that I asked to be off because I went to school, and so he just decided that like anybody who wouldn't work any of the 24 hours of 7 days a week, he was going to cut their hours down to like nothing. It's like you have to like worship the store, and the store has to be your entire life, or you're working like 8 hours a week at most. And I walk into his office, and I'm like, "Why'd you slash my hours?" And he goes, "This is what he said to me." He goes, "You said you wanted a part-time job. Here's your part-time job." And I was like, "Wow." I was trying to go to school. I didn't work there very much longer. I can't remember if I walked out that day, but it was pretty shortly after that. So, in conclusion, when that IHOP gets destroyed by that fight in Man of Steel with what's her face, that female Kryptonian and Superman, that was really cathartic for me.
Cap stood up and cheered.
I did. That was pretty cathartic for me.
Oh man, wow. I'm sorry. So, in conclusion, we now know why Cap is self-employed.
Yeah.
He has rotten luck with jobs.
I didn't work anywhere for more than 9 months, I don't think. And I never got fired. It was just because places it started fine and then ended up sucking at the end.
Carl Maxey says, I heard DJ has a current boss he doesn't like very much. LOL.
Oh, yeah, I hear that.
Trying to start some beef? Trying to start some beef? Cap and DJ beef?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the drama gets the views.
We should start a feud. That's usually, though, if you have, like, one person has a channel and the other person has a channel, it doesn't really work if I'm like only allowed on his channel.
Yeah, Feora, thanks. I just couldn't think of her name right away, Cinematographic. Blue Dragon 5 says even the mortuary. No, I wasn't thinking about the mortuary. I was there for 2 years, and I had issues with management there every now and again, but for the most part, we got along pretty well.
Back Studios. Possible to adapt The Dark Knight Returns and Beyond simultaneously.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it would make Beyond a very different thing. I almost said it would make Beyond maybe look more cynical, but I mean, Beyond is all about like the apathy of people in big business and government, and like, it's some of the same stuff. In fact, like we go to more of a like cynical evil big business place in Beyond, and we go to more of I don't know if I want to say apathetic or what, like a complacent government in Dark Knight Returns. So you could sandwich those things together and just be like, the whole system's bad, because those two things are very connected in America. So yeah, I think you could do that. The end of that would have to, I would think what you'd want to do is make Dark Knight Returns the pilot, and then at the end of that he passes the torch. And so at the end of Dark Knight Returns, when everybody thinks that Batman is dead, he's passed the torch now to a Terry McGinnis, or maybe even you make the Robin in that Terry McGinnis. That would be a cool way to do it, where instead of Terry McGinnis, you have her, and then because at the end of Dark Knight Returns, she continues on in Batman's stead, if memory serves, and he's still around, but nobody knows, but he's underground now. And so you could do that. You could have him like in the background. Everybody thinks he's dead, but he's still like elderly Bruce Wayne in Batman Beyond. He's still the guy on the comms. And yeah, that could be really cool. But you just use Dark Knight Returns as the pilot. You make it more or less exactly the same thing, and then you can get your big Batman villains out of the way right away, and then start having Batman Beyond villains. And yeah, no, that also kind of writes itself. I think that could totally work.
We're just writing Batman stories tonight. Look at us.
That's what we're doing.
Jay Forever King. Is it fair to say that Star Trek 09 is the reason Hollywood started to dabble with multiverses, i.e. X-Men, Days of Future Past?
I think it has a lot to do with it, yeah. I think they were definitely looking at that. If not dabbling in multiverses, dabbling more in the soft reboot, which I think just naturally gets you to the multiverse idea. I think there's a pretty natural evolution that happened there, and I think the other big thing that got us to so 09 has a lot to do with why we started trying soft reboots in the like go back and change something in a continuity kind of way. Like not even multiverse so much as just it's in the same world, but we changed something in the past so that in the future we can have our cake and eat it too, and be in the same world, but it looks different. We can tell different stories, paving over the ones we had already. Part of the reason that I think you end up doing more multiversal stories later is just because it's inevitable if you're adapting comics. If you're adapting Big Two stuff and you put them all in the same universe. If you have a shared universe that is with comic characters, and it goes on for very long at all, at some point, because a lot of the people doing those stories, especially at Marvel, but also at DC, are looking at comics. They are checking out some of the source material. They maybe don't always look at it enough, and they maybe don't always adapt it straight enough because they're and water things down because they're afraid that mainstream fans, general audiences can't wrap their heads around some of the cosmic stuff. But some of them are going to look at stuff like a Crisis and go, well, if it ever gets too out of hand and things get too complicated, or people just don't like what we're doing, we always have this in our back pocket. And that seems to be precisely what the Flashpoint Flash movie is doing. So I think a lot of it has to do with just adapting comics in the first place and not being careful enough with your continuity as you get started.
Next up is from Darren. Hey, Darren. Have you ever tried writing a feature-length screenplay?
Feature-length? I'm trying to remember. I wrote a screenplay in college for an independent study. and I think it was a one act, but it may have been a feature. I can't remember. I've written several one or two acts, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have. I don't think so.
Cool. Still young. He's still young, guys.
It'd be fun to do, I guess. I'm kind of a realist, and I'm like, well, nobody's ever gonna make it. You know what I mean? Like, if I wrote a feature, I would want it to be for a thing that I was going to do, and I'd be more likely to write a short film before that. But I have kicked around a full length, Geekvolution movie, that would be kind of in the vein of Spawn Year, but would be, a lot shorter. It would just be a movie with maybe a review in it. I don't know. So if I wrote a feature, it would be for me to make it, probably.
Yeah, you guys don't know this, but Midwest and Panel's completely scripted. Cap wrote the entire screenplay. That was the one he wrote. Oh man,
we wrote all the ums in and everything.
I know. Cap's a master at realistic dialogue writing.
Yeah, whenever I tell people that, they're confused as to why I wrote into the script that Brandon was going to have a bum foot on that trip and run around a baseball diamond limping. Why'd you do that,
Cap? Brandon. We've established
we hate Brandon.
Brandon. Carl Maxey, Cap. After the Joker stuff is over, what underutilized Batman villain should and deserves time to shine? I want a good Calendar Man story.
Okay, what do we mean when the Joker stuff is over?
It's been going since, 89? So
tell me when the Joker stuff is over.
Maybe he means the 3 Joker thing? I don't know.
Oh, okay, because we got past Leto, and we did not manage to kill the love for that character. So I'm sorry, what was he asking specifically, though? Like if it was just somebody else's time to shine?
Yeah, who else? What other villain should have their time to shine that deserves it?
Well, I mean, a lot of that, I just need to know what medium we're talking about. Like in movies, I like that the Matt Reeves movie is doing multiple villains at once. A lot of my favorite Batman stories tend to be rogues gallery stories. You don't necessarily have to just pick one. The answer, of course, is Clock King. But besides that, I mean, I still want to, return to a really good dark live action Clock King in a Batman movie. But as far as, I don't know, I mean, you can't force these things. You can't be like, the Joker is too popular, so let's try to popularize some other character and make them huge. Like, the Riddler has finally gotten his moment in the sun in comics for a good long time now. I mean, I think that we have really turned the reputation of that character around, as much as we have with Aquaman, No longer is Aquaman that kind of, for better or worse, because some of that has to do with, bro dude movie Aquaman. But that character no longer does it seem to be all about, fish jokes and that guy's got stupid powers and who wants to, he's so limited when he's on the Justice League. How often do they even have to go in the water? You used to have this with Riddler too, where he was just kind of butted jokes. And it's not like that anymore. We've done so many sadistic Riddlers, and it turns out that character's really good for that. It can work that way. So I would argue that even though the Joker does remain popular, other villains have finally gotten their moment in the sun and have stayed relevant and popular, and will probably never be on the level of Joker. I mean, if you made like Nigma the movie, I mean, I don't think it's going to sell like Joker. But no matter,
I would be there opening day, front row.
No matter what that is. Yeah, but okay, so Carl Maxey says he means comics. So you're just saying, like, we're doing big Joker stuff now. What should we do after that? I'm sorry, I just didn't quite understand what we were getting at with this question. But yeah, I don't know. There are a lot of characters that have never had great stories. I'm with you on Calendar Man. Poison Ivy is the next thing that comes to mind. We keep getting really close to great Poison Ivy stories, and we've just never quite gotten there. I can't think of that one story that you really need to pick up because Poison Ivy's in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool. The next one is from Maniac Madness 11 again. In honor of Power Rangers Day tomorrow. Oh, it's
Tomorrow's Power Rangers Day? Why are we not doing something for Power Rangers Day? Why is there a Power Rangers Day?
Because Power Rangers is crazy big, man. People love it. I don't know. Oh, man. Power Rangers Day. Yeah, well, that's why I'm uploading an episode tomorrow. Totally planned.
Oh, yeah. Good job.
That way.
Man, now I wish we'd planned something. I didn't know that. I mean, tomorrow's Friday. I don't usually shoot stuff on Friday, but I really want, I don't know if that's a holiday. It sounds like a very important holiday. Power Rangers Day.
Oh, goodness. I'm not prepared for this question either.
Oh, what is it?
We always get this question, and we should be prepared for this question by now, as much as we've sat and looked at Power Rangers for months and months and months. In honor of Power Ranger Day tomorrow, what is a Ranger concept that I haven't done that you'd like to see? Personally, I'd like to see a Mafia motif. Whoa.
Well, that would be insane.
What?
At the point where we finally are making Power Rangers just for... See, if we ever do, like, rated R adult Power Rangers, that's how we need to do it. Not the stupid Power/Rangers thing. Not that kind of thing. No, it needs to be, like, a really adult theme where it's still totally Power Rangers and your kids could almost watch it, but we went with such an adult theme that we have, like, drug-running Power Rangers. And just... you have, like, the Meth Lab Megazord?
The Methazord.
The Methazord, yeah, exactly. But you play it really straight beyond that. It's sort of like Megaforce doing pirates. We never even acknowledge the fact that it's Mafia Power Rangers. It just is.
Well, some of the themes don't have to be that great. Like, I mean, the theme of Zeo is shapes.
Shapes. Yeah, exactly.
No. Oh, what would a theme be? I mean, talking to Kip. I mean, we didn't talk about this on the on this show, but you showed it on the After Dark. I was messing around with a Power Ranger color scheme.
Yeah,
last
awesome.
week. But I don't know what do you think theme could go with that? I guess it could be any theme. Just like I was talking about doing the colors in like it's going to be way too hard to explain without pictures, but I was talking about doing the colors in a different way. But yeah, I don't know what theme would go with that.
I'd call it Power Rangers Chromatics.
Monochrome Rangers. We'll do like an all. Well, I guess that happens in space. Could be a good theme. We'll throw out some themes, guys, and we'll comment on them. I think we need to do a good fantasy theme. I know like Mighty Morphin was kind of more fantasy in the Sentai.
Yeah, and they did Mystic Force.
And we kind of changed it. Yeah, they did Mystic Force, but that was more like magical with like wands and stuff. I don't know. I feel like that's more like Harry Pottery.
I actually have answers to this.
Oh, good. Well, perfect.
I have always wanted a straight up water themed show, and I get that we got the Aquatarians, but or the Equitians. I don't know why they call them that. But I always wanted a Megazord that had like a shark and like a I don't know, like a blue whale, and I think you could do a really cool Megazord out of just water creatures. And I also, after seeing Kamen Rider Gaim, think that Power Rangers should rip that off into a food theme show, because that totally worked. It was like Fruit Rangers, and it was awesome.
What? Like Avocado Ranger and Starfruit, like they all had fruits?
Yes, and the pineapple one was the best.
I love pineapple.
It was so good. Well, I mean, it wasn't tasty. I wasn't eating it. You know, it was a Kamen Rider, but.
So he clarifies he would like the Mafia Rangers to be set in the Prohibition era. One thing I'll say is that when they made that Power/Rangers fan film,
yeah,
what I hated was that Zack was just like shooting a gun the whole time. Like, I don't like Power Rangers with guns. It's weird. They have like lasers. Why would they need guns?
Yeah, and it was trying to be all like gritty and sort of realistic, and
yeah.
I think generally speaking, Power Rangers should still have some sort of kind of sense of absurdity, even if it's going to have more character dimension.
Oh, William Parcell says he wants everything steampunk. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Steampunk Rangers. Kellen O'Rourke says Old West Rangers. We've dabbled in that, but we've never done a full season of that.
Well, I was trying to find some good video for you real quick on Gaim, but I'm not finding anything.
Yeah,
great.
Carl Maxey says the thing that that Eric says a lot of times, this movie monster theme.
Oh yeah.
Rangers.
Yep. That's the thing he wants.
Medieval Knights yet? No, they have not done that. OAW Entertainment. They should. They haven't done much of anything really. They do cars, dinosaurs.
And they keep repeating themselves like somehow we've run out, and I'm like, but how?
Yeah, William Purcell says supernatural Power Rangers, witches, vampires, werewolves, etc. That'd be cool.
Yep.
Anyway, let's move on.
Here you go, DJ.
Talk about this.
I don't know what that guy is, but we're about to see the pineapple one here in a second. I think this is the strawberry guy.
Okay.
No, there's the pineapple guy. Okay, so they're able to like switch into different ones, so like they lock their morpher thing in, and then I'm not playing the sound right now, but you hear this announcer guy whenever they morph. See, like a big pineapple just goes on his head, and then you hear an announcer guy go pineapple, and then that happens, and it's awesome. Look, he's got like a pineapple mace. It's amazing.
How do they play this stuff so straight over there?
I know, isn't that spectacular? Look, kiwi, and then here's the kiwi guy. The pineapple guy's not even one of the main ones. You don't see him all the time.
Is he like the special like Phantom Ranger who just shows up every now and then?
And there's like a few of those in that show. I think I haven't watched all of it, so I don't remember.
You gotta go to the go as one of these guys.
I know. I'd love to be the pineapple Kamen Rider. It'd be fantastic.
That's amazing. All right, before we lose all our viewers, let's move on.
How in the world are we not all into that? Seriously, we should have a show just on that.
Oh yeah, that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. We're gonna review Power Ranger, Fruit Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah, we should we should do a show on Kamen Rider for Power Ranger Day to say, look how much more creative some of the Kamen Rider stuff is. I mean, there's a lot of really creative Sentai, but they go even farther. They go crazy in Kamen Rider.
William Barcel, do you think we could ever see an ultra dark Ninja Turtles adaptation like the original comics? Or is the series too far removed from it?
That is just all going to depend on how Nickelodeon perceives that property and how they think they can make money with it. Because I submit that they can do several different versions at once and make money with all of them. Ninja Turtles is so weirdly versatile like Batman, I've always said that, and the only reason it hasn't happened yet, I think, is because they still think that they have to sell it to kids. And like all the time, no matter what it is. And I don't agree with that. I think if they have a kid thing that is selling well, they should then also attempt an adult thing and see if it sells well. It is time to do a darker animated series based on the IDW comics. And I think that could be really successful. I don't know why they don't go to Netflix and do, something akin to what we just did with Transformers. Not necessarily in 3D animation. I mean, I would much prefer to see that in 2D. And DJ, you and I have talked at length about what we'd like, and Dan too, about what we'd like to see from a darker Mirage-based Ninja Turtle show. But yeah, the question of like, could we ever see it? That generally implies like, would it make money? Is there, is there enough incentive for Hollywood to make that? I think so. I don't think they understand. I don't think Nickelodeon understands that.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want it to go that dark. I think Waltz is dark because I would want to go. Some people are saying they want like a Netflix Daredevil style Turtles. I don't need that necessarily, but yeah, I would want like a.
But
like
I also could be
Waltz
made to really be cool with that too if it was done right. Still needs to be a little tongue in cheek, I think. But because yeah, the Mirage books early on especially are a little rougher around the edges than even Waltz is doing, and Waltz's is a little more streamlined because it's a little bit of everything all thrown in a pot. And if you wanted to just straight up adapt, not straight up adapt, that would be impossible. But tonally, the Mirage books, it would be hard for me not to get really excited about that. I'm with you. I mean, I really want something more like an IDW adaptation, but. And maybe if you did the Mirage thing, it'd be better to just do a movie or a miniseries and not try to do a long ongoing thing with it. But I'm saying I think there's room for both of those things.
Yeah, you know what? You know what would be crazy is like we've been doing anthology shows have been all the rage lately.
Yeah.
Why can't we ever do a comic book anthology show?
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles would be the thing to do that with. Like, just do a different style. You just tell a story. I mean, it doesn't all have to be this long running thing. I don't know. I think that's what killed the Netflix series, is they tried to keep it going forever. And they all
yeah, with the same cast. I mean, like we keep making that hero's mistake over and over again. Why do we keep doing that? But you say it would be the thing to do. There are so many properties that would benefit really well from that. I mean, it's funny because if you think about it, like, that's what Sentai is. That's what Power Rangers has been doing, going all the way back after Zeo. And we're not finding enough of the benefits of doing that in adult stuff, except for more procedural concepts in the first place. Where we'll like True Detective or something, where we'll start with a premise that back in the 80s we would have made different every episode, but now we're making it different every season. We're telling longer stories. And what tends to happen with those is you get a brilliant first season, and then we run out of ideas, and then we change the cast, and then it's not that good. And so, if you did it with something pre-established like that, you could adapt stories every time. And then a lot of the quality of the storytelling would depend quite a bit on what the thing was you were adapting in the first place. So, I mean, I'm with you, do it with Ninja Turtles, but this is what Discovery should have been. I mean, we should have been doing this with Star Trek when we brought it back. And if you did a serious Power Rangers, that's what you ought to do with an animated Power Rangers, I think. Is just keep jumping around and do more serious versions of things we've seen already, and then maybe even make up some stuff. Sort of like Hyperforce. I mean, a lot of people were won over by Hyperforce and wanted to see that adapted in some form. And there's every reason to do that with all kinds of different properties.
Yeah, the reason I said with Turtles you could do that would be perfect is because you could change the style completely, because they can be done in so many different styles and tones. But yeah, with stories you could do that with any property, I think.
And they'd probably be really worried that they'd get different audiences every time, but like, couldn't that be a good thing? Couldn't that be a boon to you? Where it's like, well, if this season we did something a little kiddier, and then next season we do something a little bit more adult, the people who the adults that were there in the first place that really liked the kid thing will stick around. And if it's not too adult, the kids will stick around too. And as they get older, they'll be maturing into the more mature stuff. Like I think there's reasons to make things that are for different audiences sometimes.
Yeah, and that's the risk you run when you do an anthology thing, is trying not to do too much of the same thing, but then trying not to get too far away from it so you don't lose the audience you already have. But
yeah, it's tough.
I think you can do it.
Hey, how many more super chats do we have, DJ?
Dos.
Okay, cool, sweet.
TH1, within the dreaded CW news, I did some digging.
Oh, we're not talking about that. Nope, I'm done with that. We already talked about that. No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, this is different. He says, I did some digging, and apparently a live-action Powerpuff Girls fan film exists called PPG The Long Way Home. Have you seen, and better or worse... Okay, he's just leaving out words, but we can understand it. Have you seen, and better or worse than the CW pilot that they are working on?
Well, I mean, I don't know what that pilot's going to look like, so I can't compare anything to it. But no, I've not seen that. It doesn't surprise me that somebody's attempted that. But no, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I think he posted it in the Secret Society for the patrons, and it looked like just the image of it, not the whole movie, obviously, but like, yeah, they were just like red. They were just like wearing red and yellow and green. Like, I don't know how you even make them recognizable as the Powerpuff Girls. They just wear the colors, I guess.
And why are we so obsessed with? Well, DJ wants to move on, but I'll say this real quick. Why are we so obsessed with taking really ultra stylized things where the point is to be really over the top, and the point is that it's not adaptable, and try to figure out some way to adapt into live action? I think I maybe have an answer, which is we still have this idea, whether we in this country, whether we want to admit it or not, that live action legitimizes everything, and that movies legitimize everything. And so it's like, well, we never really made it. It was always just a cartoon. Like, the Tick was never real until Patrick Warburton played him. Before that, it was just a dumb cartoon show. Go back and watch that dumb cartoon show. It's not dumb. It's quite clever. It's one of the cleverest things up there with Pinky and the Brain that we got back in the 90s. Brandon and I were having the Powerpuff Girl conversation yesterday, and I said, Brandon,
again?
imagine if we did this with Pinky and the Brain. Imagine if it was just like two security guys in a lab going like, what do you want to try to do tonight? The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over. Like, could you imagine that? Like, no. What would be the point of doing that? They're lab mice. You can't make that in live action. And the best you can hope for is 3D CG in a live action setting. And at least we're not doing that with Powerpuff Girls. I guess we've done that now with SpongeBob, and I don't know if those are any good because I don't watch SpongeBob things. But I guess if you had to do it, that would be the way to do it. But you're not going to do that on the CW. You're not going to do that on a week-to-week basis. But anyway, yeah. But I don't know. Just why do the Powerpuff Girls have to at some point be like fully developed women? Why do we have to do that? We did an anime that did that, and I never understood the appeal of that. And that show is a totally different thing, Powerpuff Girls Z, and people have said nice things about it, and I've never watched it because I'm not a big anime guy. But, like, even back when it was on, we had this preoccupation with what would the Powerpuff Girls look like if they grew up. And that just doesn't interest me. They're three little girls that fight crime. That's the idea. Like, I like to think of them as like the Simpsons. They never grow up.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo characters have been the same age since 1969. They don't grow up. Cartoons don't grow up. William Barcel, when are we getting the Logan cut of Spawn Year?
Real quick, Maniac Madness says the CW are going to make them sexy teenagers. I know it, gross. Well, no, we know that's what they're doing. They're early 20-somethings, and yeah, like that was the pitch. Anyway, so I'm not planning on doing any different cut of Spawn Year. What we made is what there is. And I don't have extra footage or anything. I mean, like we used everything we shot. There are no deleted scenes with that. Like I wrote a script and we shot the script. There were alternate takes. I don't have them anymore. And we put a bunch of special features up, so I mean you can see some of those things, some of the bloopers and stuff. There's quite a bit of cutting room floor stuff that we did put up, but yeah, I'm not doing anything else with Spawn Year. It's done.
I want you to add back in all the extra footage of you sprinting through the snow.
Yeah, there's not as much of that as you would expect because it was really cold and I wasn't wearing a coat.
No,
we pretty much just shot that. Oh God, was that cold? It was ridiculous.
But you were sprinting. You warm yourself up pretty quick.
Dewan Patterson Power says, depends on the cartoon. Some characters grow up. Yes, that's true. But that's
definitely.
That's not one of them, though.
That was the appeal of Digimon Season 2 for me. Was like, holy crap! All the kids from the first season are now like teenagers, and they have little kid brothers and kid friends. That's crazy.
Or let me amend that to say, if anybody was going to try that, I wouldn't want it to be anybody but McCracken. Release McCracken. That's great.
So,
that's awesome.
Daniel Davis.
We're going to make that a hashtag.
That's all the super chats. I'm going to go back.
Okay, cool.
Check out the chat. So if you guys have anything else, throw it at me. Daniel Davis.
Yes.
Hey, Cap.
Hi.
You worried that the upcoming Flash / potentially Flashpoint movie might be a too Batman-centric for its own good?
Yeah, I'm mixed on that. I more than understand that worry, like, for the sake of that as a project and a thing that sounds like it's just going to be called The Flash, even though I still think it should have Flashpoint in the title. Maybe it will, I don't know, but right now they're still just acting like they're calling it The Flash.
I think it should be The Flash, Flash.
Ultimate Comics present Ultimate Spider-Man. Or present the Ultimates. That's the best, right? Ultimate Comics of the Ultimates.
Yeah. DC's Flashpoint.
So yes, that's more than a worry. It would be, I think, a lot better if they weren't making that the Flash movie, and if he was getting some other movie on top of this, where this is their big event thing. Like, this should be their Endgame, right? Like this is their big event movie. I mean, not really Endgame, but you know what I mean. Like, this is their big event movie where like all their characters would show up in it, and it's gonna then kind of reset the universe at the end. But instead, they're doing that with the Flash movie. Having said that, I'm a lot more interested in it because of the Batman stuff, because I don't care for that actor so far as that character. I hope that he wins me over in that movie, but I just haven't loved that take so far, so I don't have as much of a dog in that fight. I'm going to be going to that for the Michael Keaton of it all, and to see him and Ben Affleck maybe on screen together, and so the Batman stuff is the stuff in that I am potentially most excited for, assuming that they handle it well. But of course, for Flash fans and for just I guess the integrity of that character, just giving him a movie, that's probably, it looks like that's going to take over. Absolutely.
Let's go back to some of the stuff at the beginning of the broadcast. Whoa.
The broadcast.
Fasten it up. Hey, Cap.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for including me. Have either of you had a chance to watch Hamilton yet on Disney Plus?
I keep meaning to do that.
We started it. My wife and I started. We got to the da 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 da. That's such a catchy song. But then we stopped and we haven't gone back to it yet. It's like 4 hours, so I don't think we can carve out enough time to get through the whole thing. But I do want to watch it. I think I have to get my wife more on board, which is weird because she likes musicals. But yeah, I'm trying to get her to watch it.
I don't have anybody to watch it with, which is part of the reason I haven't done it, because I know my wife's not going to be into that. I mean, Sarah likes musicals, and she likes historical stuff, but I don't think the take they went with in that is going to be her bag. I don't think she's going to care for the profanity and stuff. I think she's going to be like, why do we have to do that? And, I mean, maybe it's not fair to prejudge my wife. Maybe I should just ask her about it, and then we should watch a little bit of it, and if she wants to. But I'm telling you, she's gonna go, why are we watching this? But maybe not. Maybe the songs will be good enough. It will be enough to keep her interested, because I've listened to all the music and it's amazing. But I've not actually watched that yet. They made a mistake with that, I think, DJ. Having not seen it, I mean, maybe I'll watch it and go, okay, there's no way they could have done this. But you would not be saying that if they'd done the Snyder Cut thing and broken it up into 4 hours. And I think that's what they probably should have done, is just try to find places they could cut. Because, oh, no, it's 4 hours. But if they'd done it in episodes, you would have already watched an hour of it.
That's true. That's true. Connor, you are 100% right. King George in Hamilton does look like Glenn Howerton, and I'm going to think about it like that from now on, because that's amazing.
I don't know who that
actor is. He's great.
Who is that?
Glenn Howerton is one of the creators and main actors who's been in all 14 seasons of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
He plays Dennis. One of my favorite shows.
Well, we've got a couple more super chats. DJ,
they just came in.
Once again, this is going to be me doing kind of a business while we're shooting. But do you want to knock these out and try to wrap the show up pretty quick and then shoot some Power Rangers?
Maybe so. I don't know. We'll see. That sounds good. We can wrap this up.
We'll answer a couple of other things, and I mean, if you guys really want us to stick around, feel free to ask some more stuff, and we'll stick around for a little bit longer. But we need to get some of that knocked out, man. And we don't have. This has not been a giant show. This has been a great show. Don't get me wrong, but we might actually have time to shoot something.
Whoa, Howerton almost played Star-Lord, says Blue Dragon 5. That would have been amazing. I would love that. That would have been so cool. TH1, we are five little things you use every... I'm assuming he means what? What are 5 little things you use every day? What is your favorite Constantine... Dude, gotta proofread this stuff, man. Constantine, thank you for being a friend. Your channel is awesome. It is an awesome escape. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. We appreciate it. I'm assuming he means Constantine.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. You're great. We really appreciate that. We're also having a lot of fun in trying to decode your super chats.
Somebody said earlier, and I haven't seen any of this stuff because I don't watch trailers, but somebody said that the Riddler in the Batman looks like Zodiac, the Zodiac killer, which is awesome because I think Zodiac is so fascinating.
We haven't even seen what he
I'm really
looks
interested
like
in that stuff.
But the way but his machinations remind me of that. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's what I feel like. I'm deciphering right now is the messages from.
I need to finish that movie. I watched half of that like a year ago, and I forgot to finish it. I just realized
Zodiac?
that. Yeah.
I did the same thing.
Really?
My wife listened to a podcast on a trip one time, and I got really into Zodiac, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta watch the Zodiac movie with what's his face, Mysterio. But then I watched up to the point where he kills the couple, like the second couple he kills, and then I stopped because it was creepy and it was like really late at night, and I never went back to it.
I'm sorry. Can I address something really quick? Connor Nielsen in the comments says Billy Crudup. You know who Billy Crudup is? Watchmen. Would be the best Reed Richards. Okay, I like that idea. I like what you're selling there. However, I listened to a podcast the other day. I've been listening to, and I mentioned this on another show. I've been listening to the Inglorious Trexperts podcast with Mark Altman, and he's been getting a lot of really great guests that have been in and worked on Star Trek, and people from other things that just like Star Trek. And they did one with Anson Mount, who played Christopher Pike in the second season of Discovery. And of course, I don't like Discovery, but that guy is amazing as Pike. He's the best thing in that show. And Altman suggested at the end of that podcast that he should play Reed Richards, and I like that choice more. I think Altman's absolutely right. He should be playing Reed Richards.
Cool. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Billy Crudup's too old at this point. I'm looking at pictures of him.
Maybe at this point.
I don't want to read Richards that's that old. But thanks, Connor. Anyway, back to the Zodiac Killer. We are 5 little things you use every day. And what is your favorite Constantine?
Okay, we'll do the Constantine thing first.
A toothbrush?
Matt Ryan's the obvious answer. I mean, I like what we did in 05 fine, but then we got something closer to the actual comic book character. I haven't read a ton in comics, so I don't have like a favorite comic variation necessarily. But as far as in other media, I don't like. It's the obvious answer, but that's because in my mind there's not another answer. So yeah.
I'm trying to think of 5 little interesting things that I use every day that wouldn't be like just what everyone uses.
Stuff everybody uses. Well, one of mine is this Batman fidget spinner, which I play with on the show every time we broadcast. I've been holding this the entire time, and this is what I do while we're talking, the entire show.
Cool. Well,
so I got one.
I don't think I have anything geeky. I use my yoga blocks every day. Like we talked about this before. I'm trying to get more flexible because I'm super tight.
Yeah. Which is funny because you're the most flexible person I know probably on your worst day.
No, I'm super tight. I can't even sit like with my leg. Like I'm just now getting to the point where I can sit cross-legged on the floor.
Oh, okay.
And I still can't even like. It's mostly my hips, external rotation of my hips. I can't even like. You can comfortably put your foot on your thigh, and like the grandpa pose, where you're like your knees up like this. I can't even do that. Like I have to lean back to do that.
I guess I'm just saying that. I guess I was just saying that because you can like backflip and stuff, but I guess that doesn't necessarily make you like.
Yeah. I mean, my back is flexible. It's just like my hips for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I'm working on it. I'll TBD, guys. Stay tuned. I'll keep you updated on my hips.
I don't have a lot of other great answers for like little things I use every day. I mean, it gets pretty mundane. I have a couple of bottle openers for beer that I use on a regular basis. One has the Joker on it, and the other one is in Enterprise. That I pop open beers. Oh, and recently, I wish I had this with me right here. I got for my birthday a multi-tool DJ that is in the shape of a bat symbol, and it's like all the little crevices and stuff inside of the bat symbol do different things. So like the bottom of this bat symbol is a flathead screwdriver, and then the side of it is a bottle opener, and the other side of it's like a corkscrew, and it's cool. Or not a corkscrew, a wrench. There's like a little wrench in it. I mean, it's pretty neat. But I haven't used it yet, so I don't use it every day. But it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I keep getting ads. I clicked on something and sent a cap one time. I keep getting ads for Batman-shaped things, like an office chair. And like I sent you the other day, I got an ad for a Batman-shaped phone.
I didn't see that.
What are those called?
You sent me that? I never saw that.
You responded to it. You said
I don't remember it. At this
it was like a phone mount for your car. And
okay. Okay, I got you. Sorry, I thought you said a phone, and I was like, what? There's a phone? That's amazing. Sorry, you were cutting in and out on me.
Because when you were here, you needed a phone mount. I remember that, and I didn't know if you got one yet. Have you gotten one yet? your car? Or you still just sit in the?
So I bought one and I can't use it because I realized that it goes the wrong direction with my vents in my car. So I bought one that goes vertical, but my vents are all horizontal.
Well, there's a little thing that he doesn't use every day because it doesn't fit in his car.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Tom, I'm sorry that we don't have better answers for that, but we got to answer some other questions.
Yeah, we need to prep for that monumental question. Carl
Make it
Maxey,
interesting.
what if Quicksilver gets his own Flashpoint in the Marvel Comics? Silver Point.
Well, that would sound pretty derivative. Now,
Wouldn't it be Quick Point since Flash is like
Flashpoint?
I think Quick is closer to Flash. I think it could be
Yeah,
Quick Point.
and also I think you just come up with some. I think you'd come up with some completely different title, given that a Flashpoint is a thing. You know, it's like it's an event that like starts something over. That's why they called it that. But for Quicksilver, like I don't know what you'd call it. Like Quicksilver is a thing. But you can't put Quicksilver in front of something that is also already a thing. So I would think that it would just Quick Trip. So now all DJ can do is try to base stories on gas stations.
Quick Point sounds like a knockoff PowerPoint program they would use, like a free trial version.
Yeah, that has like
Microsoft Suite
1/10 of the bells and whistles. Like, just all the features are gutted.
I don't know. I don't think of Quicksilver as fast as the Flash. I don't know.
Yeah,
Quicksilver's just like another mutant. I don't know if he's like that big of a deal in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, he's not, and I don't think he can time travel with his speed. I mean, if he can, I just don't know about it because I haven't read enough stuff with Quicksilver. But like, I'm pretty sure there's not anything like the Speed Force with Quicksilver. There's not like a Silver Force.
Sounds like a Power Ranger season we should have come up with.
If there was, though, that's the name of this, though, right? The name of Quicksilver's Flashpoint is Silver Force. Silver Force.
Silver. Oh man, that's the series we come up with. All Silver Horns.
We just ripped off DC again, folks.
All right, last one. Carl Maxey, Captain Logan. I'm not sure if your wife has seen it, but you should have her watch The Deadliest Warrior show on Amazon since she likes history.
Okay. I don't know anything about that.
It is a fighting show. It's like they have like a knight go up against a Viking, and like they do like all the research and then like put it into the computer and see who would win. Sounds like something you would be right up your alley. Who would win in a fight?
You've really sold me on this, yeah. It sounds like the non-geeky version of that thing they do on YouTube where it's like Green Ranger versus Darth Vader. And then they have like these giant, amazing production values, but I still think it's weird.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It was like a Discovery Channel show or something. Whoops, got one more from T-Edge1. Oh. Okay. He did it? Okay. In my defense, I thought it said Constantine because it says CONSTANINTNT. It's like way more syllables. He meant constant. So here we go. What is your favorite constant? Like the opposite of values.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Sorry, Tom. I don't know how to answer. I don't know what that means. Favorite constant?
Like the opposite of values. Okay, is it another typo in the correction? Did he mean consonant, like the opposite of vowels?
Is that what he's saying?
I don't know.
Oh, that must be what he's talking about, right? Like, also proof your corrections, Tom. Okay, so
correction needed correction.
Yeah. So I guess my answer is either S or T, and I'm going to base that on the fact that whenever I play, like, a video game version of Wheel of Fortune, I always start with those letters, and I don't know why. Like, I cannot help myself. It's always S and T. And those aren't even always the ones that come up the most often, but I'm always starting with S and T.
He must be using a phone or something and keeps changing his words, too.
Yeah, because you just put another $2 super chat that is incomprehensible. He just wrote, like, TB.
I'm telling you. We need to get. I'm imagining him with the hood of the Zodiac Killer, just speaking in riddles.
Yeah, he's saying.
No,
I'm pretty sure he's saying consonant and vowels.
Consonant.
If not, we've answered a lot of questions that have nothing to do with whatever it is he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I know what a consonant is. There's a ton of them. I don't know if I have.
I also know what vowels are. Do you have a favorite consonant? Do people have favorite? I mean, it's funny because people have favorite like colors and stuff. But like you laugh at it. But here's the thing: I'm not gonna make fun of this because I also don't even know if this is what we're supposed to be answering. But I'm not gonna make fun of this because
stay tuned.
It's not silly to ask a person what their favorite color is, but it is silly to ask somebody what their favorite letter is. Well, why is that? I mean, there's about as many. I guess technically there's a lot more colors, but I mean, just basic colors. Like, why is that? Nobody said, what's your favorite shape? Why do we care what anybody's favorite color is, if you really think about it?
Well, I mean, color's different because you can wear your favorite color. You wear it a lot. You do things with it. I mean, you don't really do anything with a consonant. I mean, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Connor says C is the best consonant because that's what my name starts with. That's all I can think of, like D.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I loved J's everywhere because, yeah, sure.
I'm trying to think.
So my answer is a combination of C and L. No, you're right. No, you're right about why favorite colors matter. That's a good point because we use them for everything. And like, if my favorite color wasn't purple, you wouldn't see so much purple on the channel now. So.
Yeah, you need to put C's everywhere back there.
William Parcell makes a good point. Knowing favorite colors can help you pick out gifts. What is this show about?
Man, if only I knew what his favorite letter was, I could pick him a gift.
All right, well, I was giving him I was trying to help out with that question. I don't even know if that was the question. I think this is a really good place to leave off. Everybody, thanks a lot for watching. We sure appreciate it. DJ and I are probably gonna go make another show if we have time. You guys rock. We really appreciate you. Thanks for popping in. I've got lots more stuff for you coming soon here on Geekvolution, including the next episode of my and Jason's new show, Father and Son. That'll drop sometime next week. And I've got another request video that will come up over the weekend, so look forward to that. DJ, I watched, what was that movie? I watched The Shawshank Redemption and did a video on it, and I really enjoyed that, and I had a lot of fun talking about it. So I'm really happy with that, how that turned out. So if you like that movie, I think you'll I think, or if you've seen that movie, I think you'll enjoy that video. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. You guys are great, and we will see you again this coming Tuesday with a Captain Logan show and the new movie reviews, and then the week after that is the fated return of Marvel Mania. So
less than 2 weeks, guys. Man, it's
lots
crazy.
of cool stuff going on here on the channel. Once again, if you like Power Rangers, check out Morphin Mania. That is our separate channel just for Power Rangers. Pardon me, stuff. We're watching every episode allegedly. Go check that out, and we are into Turbo now. So anyway, go look at that. And in the meantime, I was Captain Logan. This was DJ Martinez.
Bye, guys.